Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the second core principle of our OOPS, which is inheritance. Okay. So guys, in this video, I'll be mostly talking the theoretical part of inheritance. So I'll be talking about what inheritance is, types of inheritance, and then some terms that you should know when you are working with the inheritance. Let's not waste any more of our time and just jump into the inheritance. So as inheritance states in a common dictionary example, it means deriving or inheriting properties or assets from your parent. Okay, so children's always derived qualities from their parents in the form of the genes, right? Similar to that, in our OOPS, inheritance is the capability of one class to derive or inherit the properties from the another class. Okay, so the class that is deriving the properties is termed as a derived class or a child class, right? Similar to that, the class from which the properties are getting derived, they are stated as base class or parent class. So for example, this A and this is B. So B is trying to inherit properties from A. So this A will be a parent class and this B will be a child class. Okay. Now next move on to the types of inheritance. So we have multiple types of inheritance, and the four major types of inheritance is single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and multi-level inheritance. In some programming languages, you will also hear about the hybrid inheritance. I haven't mentioned them that in this notes, but yeah, I'll tell you about it a little bit as well. Okay. So first of all, single inheritance. So what is single inheritance? It enables derived class to inherit a characteristic from a single parent class. So this above example is of single inheritance. Okay. Next, multi-level inheritance enables a derived class to inherit properties from an immediate parent class, which in turn inherits from its parent class. Okay, so this A will be the most of the what is say in the ancestral language, I can say it is a grandfather. Okay, grandfather and grandmother, grandparents actually. So C is deriving properties from B, and B in hence is deriving properties from A. Okay, so this is multi-level inheritance. Next is hierarchical inheritance. So when more than one derived class inherits from the parent class, that kind of inheritance is called hierarchical inheritance. Okay, so over here B, C, D are inheriting from the class A. Okay, next is multiple inheritance. Now what is multiple inheritance? One derived class to inherit properties from more than one base class. Okay, so D is inheriting property from A class, B class and C class as well. Okay, so before I termed the hierarchical inheritance as well, so it is nothing but just the mixture of the multiple inheritances. So like single inheritance, multiple level inheritance, when they are together it is just called hybrid inheritance. That's it. Now next, moving on to some important terms that you should know. One is subclassing. So subclassing is calling the constructor of a parent class. Okay, so I will show this while coding. So calling a constructor of parent class means when you are in your base class, when you are trying to derive the properties of the parent class, you are supposed to call the constructor of the parent class, right? So let's suppose I'll show it over here only. Now let's suppose I have class A, right, and I have this init function self, and I'm just doing self dot A is equals to capital A. Okay, now if I do def print A, I will do return self dot a. Now when I'm trying to derive a class, what I'll do is def init self dot b is equals to b, and now I have to call the constructor of my parent class dot init and then self. So this is calling the constructor of the class A, like this is calling the class A, the parent class in the child class. So by doing this, it will, what usually init function do, it will invoke this init function of the parent class. Okay, so we will talk about this in detail in the practical section. Okay, so next, moving on, in Python object is root. In Python object is root of all the classes. Okay, now next, super function. So it is a built-in function that represents the parent class. It allows to access parent class's method and attribute in the child class. Okay, so we will talk about this in implementation as well. Okay, next is private member of parent class. So as I said, when inheritance is going on, the child class is able to derive all the characteristics of the private parent class, right? But there are times when parent class supposed to have some private members or the members that they don't want to share, right? So that provision is provided in the Python programming language. Okay, so for that we just use this double underscore. So if we want to make any attribute or any method private, we can just do this and name of method, okay, or name of attribute, whatever you like. So this is a variable name, but these two underscores are very important. So these double underscore will make, like, let Python know automatically that these are the private variables and they should not be shared while doing the inheritance. Okay, now next is method overriding. So this is a very, very, very important concept as well. It has been asked like to me in my freshers interviews a lot, method overriding and method overloading as well. Okay, so over here it's method overriding now. So what is method overriding? So when a child class provides a specific implementation for a method that is already defined in the parent class. So if we take this example only, so in the parent class we have def print a self. Okay, but what if in class B also I make a function def print a, right? So what does this states is that this is a method overriding. So even though the parent class is getting called, so this method will also be the part of this class. But if this method is already created in the child class as well, then the method inside the parent class does not make any effect, and this always takes the position. Okay, this method will be the owner of whenever the print is called. So the method inside the child class will always be called irrespective of this is the base class, right? So I guess this is enough theory, and let's talk about the practical in the next lecture. Till then, have a great evening. Okay, if you have any doubts, do mention those in comments. And yeah, if you like the videos, please do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks guys, bye.